Hello guys, Water here, and welcome to my tutorial on the villager elevator or mob elevator. Any mob that's 2 block high can get elevated by this elevator, but I built this specifically for villagers, okay? Because I know like most people will use elevators for villagers. I don't see why anybody would want to make an elevator for creepers or stuff like that. So yeah, but it can be used if you need it for creepers and stuff like that. Okay, so let's start. Let me explain what's going on here. Okay, now this is the normal elevator that you all probably know by now. It's an elevator that mobs come in. Their head gets stuck in the water, so they try and get up, and there's signs once in a while just so they can breathe and not die in this elevator. And yeah, this is a good elevator. I'm not saying it's not, but it's just like it's so much work. Like every single water block you see here is a storage block, so you need to come with 1,000 buckets, and every time like put water in every single block. And sometimes you need to make an elevator of 70 blocks and 100 blocks, and this just sucks for that kind of use. Now of course you can use ice, but it's still a long time. However, with this elevator, this is my elevator, it takes no time at all to build. It's really simple, and all the things you see here is just the path into the elevator. The elevator itself is this small thing over here that does not require almost nothing. Okay, so I'll show you what it requires. It requires any building block. It does not have to be an iron block. 1 bucket of water, that's all. Vines, get how many vines that you need the elevator height to be. So if the elevator height is going to be 70 blocks, get 70 vines. Okay, now the good thing about this is vines grow. So let's say you do not have 70 vines, you can just put a few vines on the top, and they will spread with time automatically just downwards, right? So you do not have to use 70 vines. Like, although it's better because then it's faster like that, and you don't need to wait for all of the vines to grow. But if you really do not have 70 vines, you can just wait. So that's pretty awesome, I think. And 2 signs, that's all. The packed ice, the glass, and the ladder, you do not have to get them. That's mandatory. The packed ice is for this path here that leads into the elevator. Now the reason I use packed ice is because it makes all of the mobs that are in here to go, like, to continue a lot faster. So yeah, I like that you have packed ice there. The second thing is the glass, that you do not have to use either, because you do not have to see the villagers or whatever mob there is going up, although I like that, so I would probably use glass. But you can just use normal blocks or whatever block you want to close off these sides of the elevator. Of course, one side has to be a normal block to put vines on, because you cannot put vines on glass. And the last thing is a ladder, and that I'm gonna explain a little bit later why, if you want to, you can use a ladder. Okay, so yeah, let's crack on with the tutorial. Okay guys, and here for the explanation on how this elevator actually works. Now, as most of you know, when a mob stands next to a ladder or a vine or whatever, and he tries to jump up, he will not climb on his own. It will never happen, okay? But a player can come and stand below him, and when he'll start to climb, he's actually gonna pull the villager with him up to the top. Now, I could have, like, he would come up if I would just continue going up now, but because I didn't, he fell down. But that's with a player, right? So I was like, wait, maybe we can do that with other mobs, like mobs pushing mobs to go up the elevator. So I tried that, and yeah, I succeeded. And hey, where is he? Oh, he went up on his own? That's cool. Okay, that's the first time that ever happened, but don't 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 think it's gonna happen a lot of times, okay? But so normally, what would have happened? He would just stand there and do nothing. So, but if you add a few more villagers or mobs into the party, I'm just gonna put a lot here just to make it a bit quicker. Eventually, one is gonna go up, and the other one, as you can see, there are two villagers here that are pushing this third villager because of the water stream, and he's going to go under this villager that's jumping right now and push him up, and eventually, as you can see, oh, it's happening right now, they're going to go up, and this one is going to go up, and this one is going to go down. Now, so that way you get the elevator over here. Now, a few things can happen. One thing is both of the villagers that went up, sometimes both of them go out, and that's great. Sometimes only one comes out, as I said to you, and here, wait, another one's coming. Let's see if they do it. Yeah, you see, two of them came up this time, okay? And sometimes one will come up, the other one will go down, and as it goes down, he'll pick up the third one that's already down below and take him back up again. And then you get two villagers up top, okay? So yeah, there's a few things that can happen, but no matter what, the villagers will get delivered to wherever you want. And oh, lag. And no matter what, how high this elevator is, the villagers will always get to the top of the elevator. I tried it until the world build limit, and they did it. They went until till the top. Okay. Now, as I mentioned before, one flaw in this is most of the times one villager will never go up. Okay, except for the time we saw. But I never saw them except for that time that one comes up. But so yeah, one flaw is that normally one will always stay here, but that's not a big flaw, because if you're hooking this up to a okay, eventually they do go up, as we can see here, but I don't know, I wouldn't count on that because it didn't happen to me a lot. But again, you're probably going to hook this up into a villager farm and you want to take them up, or let's say you want to put it next to an iron farm, so you'll have a villager farm next to that, just to make the process faster. So yeah, you'll probably have all the time villagers flowing through this spot right here. So I wouldn't care a lot if one villager stays down there. So yeah, I wouldn't count this a big flaw, but it is a flaw in this design. So yeah, this is the farm, this is how it works, and now I'll explain how to actually build it. Okay guys, and now for the explanation on how to actually build this elevator right here. So the first thing you want to do is grab any building block at all, put two blocks like this, put a sign on the second block, and then the block that's behind the sign, pillar up with that block until the height you want your elevator to end with. So I want my elevator to end here, so I'm going to stop right there. Then grab your vines and put vines all over on this pillar right here, and stop at this point right here, one block above the sign. One block above the sign, do not put anything, okay? So the next thing you want to do is put 3 blocks just like this. You can break these 2 blocks if you want them. Put a sign right there, okay? Then what you want to do is grab any block at all, but I'm going to use glass and just cover this up, I would say, so your villagers cannot escape from the sides and from anywhere else, okay? So we're just going to do this. And the last part is this. So, derp. Okay, and let me just, you do not have to have these over here. And that's it for now. The next thing you want to do is grab a water bucket and put it right here, okay? And that's all the elevator, completely 100% done. The next part that I want to show you is just the path right here. Okay guys, and for the explanation on how to build the path, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to use packed ice for here, just because I think it makes everything a lot faster. So what you want to do is build a path. I'm going to use packed ice, but you can use whatever you want. Just build a path of how many blocks you want, and then block it off. Okay, I'm going to break actually this because I do not want to do so much. Okay, so and then just block it off. Take build 3 blocks like this. You can break the bottom one and just cover it all around, and I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. Okay, and after you build the path, you're just gonna build this too high barrier so your mobs cannot jump above this barrier right here, and they'll have to stay in this path right here. Okay, then what you want to do is grab a water bucket, put it in the beginning, see until where it flows, then put a sign right here on the side and put another water bucket right here. Okay, this is what you're supposed to end with, just like this. Okay, now one thing, oh, and if you want, you can put a I think it's better to put it like just to put a ceiling on this part right here, cause then the mobs do not jump as much as normal and everything is just faster that way. Okay, but one thing you do have to do, and that's wherever you put a sign, break the block above the sign and the 2 blocks that are in the side there. Okay, because if not, your mobs are gonna be here, they're gonna like swim with the current, and then they're just gonna stop on this ice block right here. It's not always gonna happen, but it is gonna happen at one point. Now, as I said before, you're probably gonna hook this into a villager farm or whatever, and so that way you have a lot of villagers going through. So let's say there is a villager that's stuck on this ice block right here. Another villager is gonna come and push him over, and eventually he is gonna get out from this block. But if you prefer breaking these 3 blocks right here, I prefer to do that, so I do it. But yeah, so they just don't get stuck here, and I think it makes the process a little bit faster. Okay guys, and for the last part that I told you, I'm gonna explain about why maybe you're gonna want to use a ladder, is this part right here. Now let's say your elevator ends here. Okay, so all of the villagers, mobs, whatever, are gonna end here, and then this is what you're gonna want to do if you want to take them to another place. Okay, you're gonna want to create a platform right here. I'm gonna create this kind of platform. No, it actually should be like this, I think. Yeah, okay, so it actually should be like this. And now what a lot of times people do is actually leave one spot on the end here completely closed, and then what you can do from here is grab rails and a minecart, and I actually need that water bucket, and a villager, and then what they do, they create a water source right here that makes all of the villagers go to this spot right here, and then from here they put rails with a minecart, and a minecart can grab mobs from edge right here. As you can see, I could have pushed that minecart over there because I am on this edge. So if a minecart would go back and forth over here, it could have picked a mob from here. I hope that makes sense. So they will put a water source right here, but the problem with this elevator right here is that it will break all of the hard work of our vines. So what you do want to do is leave all the vines, but then grab your ladder for the last part over here and put it in, except like instead of a vine, just put a ladder, and then and nothing will happen. The villager elevator will still work. Okay, so just put it right here, and as you can see, the ladder does not let the water fall down below. And then obviously you would want to make this too high so the villagers cannot escape. And then there's going to be a villager right here. As you can see, he's going into that spot right there. Now, and then like you'll put here a minecart, put it right there, and it is supposed to grab that villager right there, and I don't know why it doesn't do it right now, but that's what happens, and maybe I'm not doing it right. But yeah, that's how you do it basically. Another thing I want to say, as you saw there, the villager can, like if it goes to the side, it can fall back down, and we do not want to do that. So what I would have recommended to do is, I'll just kill him for a second, is create actually the water source exactly above the ladder. So then as they go up, they get pushed through to the farther end, to the end that's really not close to the ladder. So if they're here and they go to the side, they'll go to this side or this side, but they cannot fall down this ladder. Okay, and yeah, I'll see you in the next part, I guess. Okay guys, so yeah, this is the tutorial right here. I was Water. I hope you enjoyed. Like if you liked the video, and subscribe if you want to see more cool content like this. And yeah, I'll see you soon.